Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement. Hello again, St. Lucia. Welcome to the program, Agriculture on the Move. I am Philip Sidney, your host. Today we'll be reviewing the third annual Hiwanura National Honey Show held here in St. Lucia in December last year. We will dissect it, look at the successes and objectives and everything about that show. And here with me is Mr. Richard Matthias, who is the president of the Ionola Apiculture Collective, who is also the master beekeeper and of course the coordinator of the honey show. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sidney.
Great.
Nice to be here again.
Good. Boy, we had a successful honey show this year. Last year, in fact, which was the third one.
Yes.
Great. Give us a review.
This year's show was special in the fact that we were able to incorporate our OACS brothers and sisters into the show this year. So we had participants from as far north as the British Virgin Islands and as far south as Grenada, and all the islands in between except for Martinique and Guadeloupe this year.
Okay.
But past participation from Dominica, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla.
Anguilla
was there also, and to the south of us, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada, and of course St. Lucia. So we had a full complement of participants and plus our St. Lucian beekeepers. So we really had a very interesting show this year. A lot of bragging rights were on the line in one form or another.
Okay. So what's the really objective of this show?
The objective of the honey show is an opportunity for beekeepers to show the best product that they have, the best of their honey, the best of what they can produce. I think through consecutive entries and consecutive entries into the competition, we will find from year one when we first started, every year the quality of the entries get much better, more refined. People home in on the skills. The honey entries get much better, the wax entries get much better, the paintings are even more paintings, more photograph, everything is just more. So I think it helps build awareness of apiculture, just not as some old guy in an old dirty suit under the bushes somewhere, tinkering with some flying insects. We actually give a little more significance to that, and allow persons to experience a different range and flavors and textures of honey that you would see throughout the year. So you have different categories of colors of honey, and normally the color of the honey would somehow give an indication of the type of bouquet that the honey would have. So the very clear, light-colored honeys normally have a very flowery, fruity flower bouquet, whereas the darker honeys will have a more fruity, poignant flavor. So it's good for not only the beekeepers but participants to be able to, the general public, to be able to interact with the beekeepers and find their favorite flavor, and then the beekeeper could tell them, well, if the honey from this time of the year tastes like this because of these types of flowers are in bloom, and this one is because of these type of flowers are in bloom. So it brings the beekeepers and the general public greater awareness to the different variety in the products, and also the importance of bees to the biodiversity of our country.
In terms of livelihoods, the people who participated, they had a moment to actually showcase what they produce, right?
Sure. Yes. So we did actually have opportunities for beekeepers. We had vendors on all 3 days of the honey show, 2 days in the castries in the town hall area, and one day up north in the IGI Marina where we did our closing ceremony. So it was an opportunity for generate sales from your honey and any other related products extracted from the hive. This year we were a little more diverse. We asked for some of our vendors to be more artisanal, so persons that were making teas and other local products. We thought it was a good opportunity for them to participate in that kind of forum and get that kind of exposure to the general public and to make some interesting networking opportunities.
Were there any challenges to bring the other islands together? I know there is this phytosanitary barriers. How were you able to overcome that?
We work closely with the Ministry of Agriculture through the Veterinary Livestock Division, and prerequisites for all our entries coming in from outside of St. Lucia was to get their phytosanitary certificates to accompany their entries, so that we can ensure that all entries were in good, proper order and from recognized beekeepers from their country of origin. And we had some very secure protocols, so once the honey arrived in St. Lucia, it became the possession of the honey show. So all honey arriving into St. Lucia, we took custody of it, we secured it, we put it up on display every day and took it down and resecured it and put it back up on display the following days and resecured it. And then once persons were leaving to go back to their country of origin, we gave them back their honeys to go back to their country of origin. So no honey that came from outside of St. Lucia stayed in St. Lucia or went back to its country of origin.
Okay.
So we didn't in any way
contamination.
We didn't in any way compromise phytosanitary standards of St. Lucia. There was no chances taken. So everything that came in went back out.
Take us through the first day.
Well, it was a week of activities. It wasn't just the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which was the actual honey show. Persons, through our partnership with the OECS and the Biospace and the European Union, we had a project with them. They actually funded to bring down all the participants, 2 participants from, and some countries more than 2 participants. Countries like Dominica, I think we brought 3 or 4 people down. And Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, it's a federation, so we brought 2 people from St. Kitts and 2 people from Nevis came across. So through that funding opportunity, through the OECS and the Biospace project funded by the EU, we were able to bring people down for really a week of activities. So they came, a lot of persons started coming in from the Saturday to Sunday. The Monday we had a presentation. The first day we had a presentation, a discussion, like a lecture series. So we had a number of different top persons join via Zoom. We haven't actually even had persons from Guadeloupe and Martinique join those sessions via Zoom, where we were different guest speakers throughout the day. We had a preliminary presentation. We had a presentation from the EU on how to export products into the EU, so they gave us a very good session on that. We had another session from Jeff SGP talking about their funding opportunities and also about the Mali project in Vieux-Fort, which is hopefully going to break ground this year. Then we had a presentation from Dr. Randall Esnard, who is doing an economic scoping study on the value of honey into livelihoods in persons into the OECS. So he was presenting some of his preliminary results in that forum. We also had a presentation from Dr. David Tarpey from North Carolina State University on viral loads of different viruses found in bees in the Caribbean, and some of the work that we have been doing with him in looking at that research and looking at the different viruses that are present in the bees in the Caribbean at this time. So it was a really packed first day. And then we had a cocktail in the evening funded by the British High Commission. So that was a great experience. So everybody got an opportunity to meet and greet and talk in a nice social environment. The Tuesday was the first of our study tours. So the Tuesday we were in the, if I remember correctly, we were in the south of the island on the first day. So we went down to View Fort, the Makoti Mangrove. We went to Soufriere and Soisel, and we visited the tilapia and lettuce farm down in Choiseul, Jameson.
Jameson, yes.
Yeah, and then we did bees in the mangrove. Then we did a little mangrove tour and talk. Then we went to Jameson. Then we went to Soufriere, took a spin of Soufriere Sulphur Springs, and then we headed back up to Castries. That was a Tuesday. The Wednesday we were in the north of the island. So we went to the IAC's newly opened laboratory. We got a surprise visitor. The Prime Minister came and visited us because in his constituency. So he gave us a surprise visit, which was really a great plus. From there, we went up to Deborah. Went and looked at some bees in Deborah, in the community of Deborah, and then we had a nice, we had they did a fish fry on a Wednesday evening. Yes, so we started the fish fry very early in the afternoon. So we had a nice fish fry. They did a special fish fry for us early in the Wednesday afternoon, and then we had the Capesh solo band played for us, and that was really good cultural experience from for native visitors from across the region. And then we came back to base after that. So that was a Wednesday. Thursday we had our roundtable session where we would review some of the stuff we saw for the week and try to plan a way forward for apiculture. For the region, and things that we wanted to undertake as a group, as the OECS beekeepers, for the coming years, and so that we can give some guidance to the OECS, and hopefully they can petition on our behalf to the ministers of government in the various islands to help safeguard apiculture as a livelihood, and try to put together ways to harmonize the opportunities for the trade of honey between the islands, so it's not too erroneous or too difficult for if there's a country that requires, say for instance, Anguilla, a very beautiful place, but it's very small square miles. But there's probably a need for honey, but they can't meet the demands. Rather than honey being imported from America or Europe to meet that demand, we should be trying to export from within our region so that we don't contaminate, that we maintain a certain phytosanitary boundaries within ourselves. By bringing in international honey into our space, it's more
foreign
potential diseases and so forth. So if we're all maintain a certain level of agreed phytosanitary standards, we should be able to do business amongst ourselves. And especially the islands where there's an undercapacity in production, we should be able to meet that from within the region rather than importing. So that will help with foreign exchange to, not a massive amount, but every little dollar helps.
Increase livelihoods.
And especially it will help support livelihoods within the region. So this is some of the conversations that we had at the roundtable meeting. And try to discuss a way forward in that regards. So that was a great session. I think we should have we have a documentary of the week of activities coming up soon. So hopefully we'll be able to, you folks at GIS will be able to share it for us. Then we had the opening of the honey show in the City Hall on the Friday morning, which is well attended. The PS in the Ministry of Agriculture, ECA, JFSGP, and a whole British High Commissioner, Massey, OECS, so a whole set of dignitaries were there for the opening, and obviously all of our local and regional delegates, participants were there. So it was a really nice occasion. Really to see how far we've developed from year one to year three. I think that was a real achievement in us having that level of focus. So I was really proud of that. And we had a lot more entries this year, almost over 300 entries this year. Wow. So we really had a really good spread. So the week of activities, the Friday was fantastic.
Hold that point, we do for our break. You're watching Agriculture on the Move. Stay tuned. We'll be back very, very soon.
Happy 45 en collaboration avec comité indépendant Bagay la show
Ministre agricole ni en seafood Festival Sakay Bad
Ça c'est riche et douette
22 février Fisheries Complex Sans souci Un casse-tuit
Happy Independence Sakay show Ikay show Tout bagay la mer pour yo Sakay show Ikay show Tout bagay la mer pour yo This one is hot. There will be lots of food in the pot. Lots of food booths available. National entertainment. Independence Seafood Festival. La Kaini Papa Veda. Afa Ale. Oule Tete. Addition. À votre service. Ngozi and team. Vision Ban. And lots more.
Ah, ikay bon Yelele ikay bon Ouma kaila ikay bon Poisson frit ikay bon Lobby roti ikay bon
Kids zone available. Big Mama's buying full blast. Zosa Palace Twas.
Welcome back to the program, Agriculture on the Move. We're just, of course, reviewing the third annual honey show held in St. Lucia in December. And of course, Matthias is here to give us, you know, a ball by ball, as it were. So the actual competition was held on the first day or the second day?
Friday. So
the Friday.
We start receiving entries. So we had all of our entries from the OECS islands already, because remember, as the guys came in, we collected the honey, collected all the entries. So we had all that on display. And then you've got the Friday now is for our local participants to start bringing their honey also to enter into the competition. So the Friday is really Friday and the Saturday are really receiving days.
Okay.
Opportunities for do some vending out in the Constitution Park area. Yeah. So Saturday, the Friday and the Saturday, you know, you got the heavy footfall on the Friday. And the Saturday. Weather was a little inclement, but I think we still braved, we did well during those periods. And then the Sunday, so Saturday afternoon is when we actually judged the entries. Wow. So the judges will go through everything on a Saturday. And then the Sunday, we would do the prize giving, put the trophy.
So where the judges came from?
We have two judges that support us from the UK National Honey Show. So we have two first-class judges, Bill Fisher and Sue Carter. They've been with us, helped to nurture
from the first.
So they've been with us from the first honey show to help us, nurture us from strength to strength. Obviously this year we got the great news that last year. So we got the great news that young Dunstan had won best honey in the world, winning category 10 at the UK National Honey Show.
There's a guy from Soufrière.
The guy from Soufrière, yes.
Yes.
So all these things have culminated from us having our honey show in St. Lucia. So it's very important that we use these opportunities to help develop our product and measure our product against not just local honey but international honey,
yes.
And see where our product stands. We might not make cars, but we make good honey. So you might not get a rocket ship out of us, but you'll get some fantastic honey out of us. So the things that we have, being small island states, limited resources, I think it's important. The things that we can do well, we do showcase them to show that, hey, we do this and we do that. We don't have maybe iron ore or steel or gold, but what we do have is great biodiversity.
Okay. And the prizes that the Sunday was the prize giving?
Yes.
Okay, so what's in Lucia took home?
I unfortunately we didn't win the OECS, the best out of the OECS competition. We didn't win that one. That went to Dominica. Okay. A young man from Dominica, Nathaniel Lovell, really dedicated beekeeper. I visited his apiaries in Dominica. He did very, very, very well. So Nathaniel actually won the best with his honey. The judges deemed that one the best out of all of them. For the St. Lucia side of the competition, for the best in show out of St. Lucia, it was young Donson. Emerald Farms won, but Dunson,
was the one
but Dunson looks after Emerald Farm Bees. That's his employer. So it was still good for them. So I think we really had a very good showing, and I think it's just a measure of where we can get stronger and stronger the more that we compete and work together. And it's not really a competition as such. I think we had if you were to do most in points for the overall show, St. Lucia won the most points in the overall show because we had more entries than anybody else. It was a local competition, so it would be very difficult for anybody to gain more points than us. So most points in show, we won that. But the overall best honey, we got tipped for entry from Dominica. But I think it's our sister island. So it's just like we won, man. So it's not, it's the two very few Creole speaking islands in the Caribbean. So if our sister island would take it, not a problem. So that's what we were working with. And I think it's down to us to compete and do better next year, and have more entries. I know some of the beekeepers in St. Lucia had a bit of a tough year, honey production wise.
Well, I was just coming to that to ask you what the constraints in terms of climate change and.
Well, climate change is always going to be a factor. It didn't really affect any of my apiary, so to speak, but I know a lot of people did say that they had some difficulties with production this year. So it really hampered some people this year in putting out their best honey. Honey they thought they would have got, they didn't culminate for them. But as I said, it's all you can do is try every year. And I think the honey show is more of a celebration of beekeeping. There is a competitive element to it, but I think it's more the camaraderie, the coming together, and really
sharing information.
A lot of networking, a lot of techniques, a lot of. I think this was the important things that came out of the honey show.
I know you all had that in tandem with the activity at the Rodney Marina. In terms of sales, how was that?
I think sales on the Sunday were fantastic. Very, very good. All the honey sold out. Anybody who had honey to sell was sold out. All the vendors had a great time. They sold out very, very well. We had a consultant do a monitoring evaluation report, and it was very good. Okay.
So overall, in terms of the reporting and the activities, it does rated. Look at 1 to 100.
1 to 100. There's always room for improvement. I would give us an 80%. I think it would be an 80%. I think we had more exhibitors than last year, which is a plus. I think we kind of did a blend. Year one we did the whole thing in the town hall over 2 days. Then year two we did it in 1 day at IGY Marina. Year three we did a combination of 2 days in town and finalizing at the marina. So I think we may have just got the right fit, right? Utilizing both venues. I think it's good to bring honey to the masses. I don't think we should just have it up at Rodney Bay and just have only the people in the north get to experience it. So I think it's good that we brought it to the masses. We did 2 days in Castries, so it gives everybody opportunity running through town to inquire, look and see. I wonder. I think one of the areas we need to work on to improve on is we had a lot more kids involved in the art the art and photography category, but it'd be good to see even more participants.
Who won this?
There was a young lady. I have it on my phone.
Local.
Yeah. A young lady won that, and both the adult art. Sabrina Romulus, she won it last year. She won it again this year for a painting of a depiction of a beekeeping scene. So that was good. It was good. And we amalgamated some of the categories that everybody's in it. So I think we picked. So St. Lucia did very, very well. We picked up the art. We picked up the junior arts, the waxes classes. So we did St. Lucia did very, very well.
There's also, moving forward this year, maybe prior to the Honey Show, the Bee Congress. Tell us about that.
Yes, so we are hopefully looking to host the Association of Caribbean Beekeeping Organizations Beekeepers Congress for the same week of the Honey Show, so as a run-up for this year's Honey Show. We're trying to just put the final details on it to ink it in, but we're looking to have a similar week of beekeeping activities, but we have all the beekeepers from across the Caribbean here with us. So this December is going to be, rocking. A lot of beekeepers on the island. We'll probably still restrict our entries just to the OECS for phytosanitary reasons, but it'll be good for our regional beekeepers to come and see what's on offer and how our honey show racks up. I know a lot of the beekeepers from the other islands are eager to come back, and now that they've got a little taste, yeah, they've tasted the experience. They want to come back and do better this year. So I think it's important that we continue with the event, and it helps give everybody strength.
Funding, I mean, I'm sure it took a lot.
Yes, yes, it was.
Can you highlight the funding collaborators?
Oh, Ministry of Agriculture was one of our key partners. Obviously, the OECS and the Biospace project was a significant funder. They funded all the flights and accommodation for the OECS brothers and sisters to come down. Ministry of Agriculture was a key funder in hosting, helping us with the logistics and cover the cost of a lot of really important things for the event, accommodation with the judges and venues and equipment and stuff like that. So it takes a lot of. It's not. It's very expensive, So Massey was on board with us. Republic Bank was on board with us. Cox and Company gave us good support. Obviously, the IGY Marina and the Ark were on board with us. St. Lucia, St. Lucia National Conservation Fund, Mr. Craig and his team gave us a lot of good support. So there was we got a lot of support from across different sectors of the island, financial institutions, grant agencies, Jeff, ministry. So we had a real
good collaboration.
Good collaboration.
Very good.
It takes a lot of energy and effort and obviously resources.
And I know your back is broad, and you can So I want to say thank you for that activity.
Thank you, my brother.
I'm hoping that this year will be bigger and better.
Yes.
And get more participants from the OECS.
Of course.
And move forward. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
You've been watching Agriculture on the Move. Of course, I want to remind you of our Seafood Festival. Our Independence Seafood Festival on the 22nd, which is Independence Day at the Fisheries Complex Waterfront. Make sure you come there and enjoy, bring the kids. It's going to be really, really, really good this year because it's the only activity on that day in Castries. So you can't miss it. Don't cook lunch. We will take you through from 12 until 9, of course, with entertainment, kids corner, and the likes. Thank you again for viewing, and remember, agriculture is our business. Eat fresh, St. Lucia's best. I'm Philip Sidney saying bye-bye.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.